Hello, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. If you could give this video maybe a thumbs up, or maybe leave a comment below, or possibly share this video, it would mean so much to me. But just anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to watch this video. Thank you. Got some news here, miss a day, miss a lot. Kadarius Toney, the man, the myth, the legend. He's the PFF Offensive Player of the Week. Now, we've had, Daniel Jones was in the PFF, but I mean, he was, the NFL, the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. So the offense, has the possibility, has the potential, okay, in the future, okay, because as I'll be going over in a minute, Daniel Jones may not be playing this Sunday, Kadarius Toney may not be playing this Sunday, but anyway, more on that in a second. Now Kadarius was in there, okay, he was only in there he was the PFF Offensive Player of the Week. And he only played about half the Giants snaps. Now, the Giants on offense had 68 plays, okay? Kadarius Toney was in there for 37, okay? Basically, it was 37 what I saw on PFF. 25 of them were pass plays, okay? And then the other 12 were run. He had 11 pass blocking grades, and he had 1 running grade because he took a snap and got 7 yards on it, so he had 1 running grade as well too. But out of the 37 plays that he had, 25 were passing. Out of that, he had 13 targets. He caught 10 balls for 189 yards. Now I saw there was one thing I saw was online. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was Trevon Diggs was covering him, and it was I saw the video was on like Twitter. It was like a 10-second video, but it was like Trevon Diggs trying to cover Kadarius Toney. It was funny. I mean, Kadarius was like, I don't know if he was in the slot or whatever it was. It was hard to tell from the angle, but he was like kind of cutting over the middle, and Trevon Diggs was kind of staying with him, and then Kadarius just stuck his foot in the ground and then cut out this way, and within like a matter of like a second, he was like 3-4 yards away from Trevon, wide open, caught the pass. Totally toasted Trevon Diggs, made him look like a freaking joke. Dude's got some talent. I'll tell you what. I'm going to say I'm happy that we took him over DeVonta Smith. The only thing I'm not happy with is that he seems to be getting injured, and it doesn't matter what you can do. If you're the greatest of all time, if you can't stay healthy on the field. DeVonta Smith, I mean, his numbers aren't that gaudy. I mean, number 10 pick and all that stuff and this, that, and the other thing. Not very impressive. But he's on the field. Kadarius Toney, what are you going to do? Get him on the field for 4 or 5 games, 6 games a year, maybe half the year, But anyway, PFF had a receiving grade of 93.3, okay? So his receiving grade, okay, he's a rookie. All right. His receiving grade was a 93.3. And his average yards per route that he ran, every time he ran a route, he averaged 7.88 yards every time he ran a route. Okay, so his 93.3 receiving grade by Pro Football Focus and his 7.88 yards per route run is in the top 5 for all rookie wide receivers since 2010. That's pretty impressive. Very impressive. Now, what I did was he played 37 out of the 68 snaps. So just say he was in there every play. Okay, if he was in there for all 68 snaps, all right, at the rate he was going, he would have had 18 catches. Okay, he had 10 catches for 189 yards. Check this out. But if he had all 68 snaps, he would have accounted for 18 catches. He would have had 340 yards, which would have been an NFL record. Flipper Anderson has the records, 336 yards. It was 1989 he did it. Kadarius Toney played all 68 snaps. He was on pace for 340 receiving yards, which would have been an NFL record. And just to go to show you, when DeVonta Smith played the Cowboys in Dallas, as far as I know, the Eagles pretty much had their full allotment of, first stringers and all. They might have had somebody a little dinged up here or there or whatever, but it wasn't nothing like, the Giants had 8 backups in there. Okay, 8 out of their 11 offensive players were backups, right? So DeVonta Smith with their first string offensive line, first string quarterback, first string running back, first string wide receivers, first string, tight ends, first string everything. When he went there and he played against the Cowboys, DeVonta Smith had 3 receptions for a whopping 28 yards. So I think our guy did a little bit better than DeVonta Smith did. Pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with the pick number 20. There were 2 things I'm not happy about. One is Kadarius just seems to be getting hurt, which is obviously a theme for the Giants wide receivers this year. But anyway, the only other thing is that we're kind of hoping and praying that the Bears don't do good. And I don't wish anything bad on any player, just the Bears, the team. Because obviously we have their first round pick next year, and they're off to a 3-2 start, which is not, not helping the Giants out with their first round pick. Now, if you look at like the Eagles have possibly 3 first round picks next year. They got Miami's, they got the Colts, and they got their own. All right, the Colts only have 1 win. Miami only has 1 win. So the Eagles have 2, actually 3, I think right now. I think because the Eagles are 2 and 3. I think the Eagles have 3 of the top 10 or 11 picks in the draft next year. And unfortunately, the Giants would have, a couple real good picks, but the Bears just keep winning. And because we have the injury news. Now, of course, we got Daniel Jones. He's in concussion protocol, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. See, you don't want to be bringing him back too soon. It's like with Troy Aikman. He had to end his career due to concussions. You get one, you get another. You get especially if you come back a little too soon or whatever. So he's got to be very, very careful. And the Giants got to be very, very careful. It's like with Saquon too. You don't want to bring him back too early or anything like that. So if you want Daniel Jones for the long haul, it might mean keeping him out a couple games or something. But if that's what you got, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Then of course Saquon looked like he's got possibly a low ankle sprain. He's on crutches. And it looks like, what I was reading, he's likely to miss a couple weeks, but it's the same thing. Don't want to bring him back too soon. Now, when he had the high ankle sprain a couple years ago, he was only out, was it like 2 games, I think? But then you could just tell the way he was just running. It was like the next 2 or 3 games or so that he was on the field trying to run. He just wasn't the same person. So, possibly having his backup in the game. Wayne Gallman, if Wayne Gallman was backing him up, possibly just keep getting him in the game. He might have been better off than have Saquon in there, because he was just wasn't the same person. So keep him off the field. Hopefully get him healed up, and hopefully when he comes back he'll be good to go. Then of course we got Kadarius Toney. He's got I was reading like an ankle/foot injury. I have to see if he can play this weekend coming up. He was fighting through the pain or whatever like that as the game was going along and toward the end of the game. And I guess when he got after he got ejected for throwing the punch, I guess I'm sure his foot/ankle and all was probably feeling pretty painful. So it was maybe a good thing just to get him out of there. Then of course you got Darius Williams. He was in there. I think he was in there for like 12 plays. And now he's out for the season with the torn ACL. Unbelievable, guys. Then we got Kenny Golladay. He hyperextended his knee. Looks like he'll be out for a couple weeks. As I said, this is his 4th injury. He had the hamstring early on, right? Then he had the hip for like a week or so. Then he went to a groin. Now he's hyperextended his knee. It's just one thing after the other. Then of course we got Andrew Thomas now. He was on the sideline, but he was going to be like an emergency, substitution. If we need him, absolutely needed him to put him in there, he could have gone. But I'm sure they did the best for him and all and kept him out. So hopefully maybe he'll be in there this week against the Los Angeles Rams, because if at least we can get him in there, that'll help, because the Rams got a good defense, and we can use all the help we can get. So, I mean, you just got to say, I mean, like, what we lost Daniel Jones in just one game. Lost Daniel Jones for at least a couple weeks, probably for the concussion. Saquon with the low ankle sprain, probably for a couple weeks. Kenny Golladay for probably a couple weeks with the hyperextended knee. Then we lost Darius Williams for the whole season. Then Kadarius Toney. All right, we lost him maybe for a week. We'll have to see. Maybe he might play, but like 5 starters. It's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. I know it's football, contact, but all that stuff. But I mean, every week we lose 2, 3. This week it was like 5 guys came out of the game injured, starters. Unbelievable. I mean, it kind of makes you kind of wonder, will we have any starters on the field at all in week 17? We might have like second and thirds. Everybody be a second and third stringer. But week 17 comes around. Then I saw, so I have to keep an eye on all this stuff as the week goes along. But it looks like we're just going to be walking wounded playing against the Rams. We're a 10.5-point underdog at home against the Rams. Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Then I saw it was a story from. Let's see. Let me pull it up. What I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description box. You can check it out if you want. From Leighton Vander Esch. All right, from the Cowboys, a linebacker. He was kind of talking about the Giants, kind of like I don't know, poking fun at him a little bit, but I gotta agree with him. I mean, it is what it is. Truth hurts sometimes. Let's see. Van Der Esch. Okay, let's see. He said, Van Der Esch didn't find it especially physically demanding from the Cowboys' perspective. I thought we controlled the tempo, Van Der Esch said. Yeah, well, I guess so. You have your starting first-string defense in there, and basically you're playing against the Giants' second string. Yeah, I guess you should control the tempo. If your first string can't control the tempo on a bunch of backups, that you shouldn't be on the field then. I mean, it's simply me. I know next man up, but it's kind of funny. Like nobody seems to bring this stuff up. Yeah. We controlled the tempo. My body feels pretty good right now, so I don't feel like it was an extremely physical game. Gotta agree with him. I think we brought it to them every single snap the way we could. And I think we out-hit them tonight. So you can say it's a physical game and all of that, but there's going to be some games that are more physical than others. I didn't come out of this game feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking battered, or I got a bunch of bumps and bruises. Yeah. Van Der Esch mocked the fight at the end of the game. Then Van Der Esch said you could tell that the Giants, when they were losing 34-13, he said they were getting frustrated. Absolutely. We know we were going to be in situations like that as a defense, and we got to learn to be smart in those situations. Van Der Esch said, everyone wants to beat us. Everyone's going to give us their best, whether that's chippy or whether that's just putting up nose down every single play. We got to just look at them in the eye and say, let's go. It don't matter. I mean, I gotta agree with them. The Giants, what I'm saying, they're soft. Okay, and I got to agree with him. He's talking from him being on defense, so he's talking about the Giants' offensive point of view. I mean, it is. I mean, when you're a linebacker and you're going up in games against other teams that have dominating offensive lines and all of that, yeah, they bring it to you. When Joe Judge was in his press conference, okay, his initial one when he was, being introduced to everybody. One of the things he said is, says, we're going to punch you in the nose for 60 minutes. We're going to, every play has a history of their own, and we're going to punch you in the nose for 60 minutes. I don't say, I mean, you can do all this you want. I mean, but unless you do it on the field, it just, I just don't say it. Now with the Giants, they have like Logan Ryan. I know he's one of them. He said he like talks to the guys before the game and stuff like that. I mean, giving them, I don't know, pepping them up or whatever the heck it is. But I'll tell you what, whatever their captains are doing, it's not translating to the field. Whoever it is, they have nobody on the field, okay, that's he's a Hall of Famer like Mike Singletary. Now look at this clip right here, okay? This is what the Giants need.
Hey baby, we're gonna be here all day. We're gonna be here all day, baby. I like this kind of party. Baby. All right, bring it, baby.
You see that? See, that's what the Giants need, okay? Just somebody with some freaking attitude. Yo, we're here all day, baby. We're here all day, baby. I like that kind of party. Oh, I like that kind of party, baby. Oh, yeah. He's looking at, that was a game against the Packers, okay? He was staring down, yelling at him. We're here all day, baby. We ain't going nowhere. That's what the Giants need. A little attitude. Do you see it from anybody? I don't see nothing. It's one thing, if you lose, out there, give it your all and you lose, it is what it is. But, there's another thing. When the other team leaves the field, whether they're victorious or not, when they leave the field, they need to walk off the field like, holy crap, those guys brought it, Now, I said in my video, I think it was yesterday, I said, or the day before, whatever it was, I said, back in the 80s, okay, because the Giants' offense a lot of times was just very boring. Some games they had a hard time scoring. They did not have a fantastic offense. They didn't have a lot of times, okay? So sometimes it was kind of tough to watch their offense, all right? So a lot of times back in the 80s, especially when Lawrence Taylor was on the field, okay, I used to get pissed off when the offense would come on the field. I wanted the defense on the field. The defense got me more fired up than anything, more fired up than the offense scoring a touchdown. I wanted to see the defense on the field. And now what the Giants need to do, which I have not seen, I'm not seeing this at all, okay? What the Giants need to do, they need to do this.
The offense broke the huddle, and you could see the fear in their eyes, and you just felt like you could just smack people around.
You see that? That's what they need to do. See, every man to the ball. Do you see that? One guy grab him, stand him up. The other 10 guys pile on. Everybody gets a hit at the guy. Everybody gets a hit at the guy. Right? Do you ever see anything like that? That's not, see, that right there, that is just an attitude. That's not, well, you got to be a fantastic player, or my goodness gracious, you got to be this. No, that's attitude. What is a run? You grab them, you run to the ball. Every man to the ball. And I understand if you're a safety 30, 40 yards away and you run, by the time you get there, maybe the whistle's blowing or something like that. But if you're in the vicinity, you get on the ball. You hit that son of a gun. You make it when that guy goes back to the hull. You're like, yo, hand the ball to somebody else next time. Not this play, brother. I need a little bit of a breather. So I'm saying, so when you walk off the field, okay, the other team walks off the field, they need to know they were in a football game, whether they won or not. And I'm not seeing it from anybody, especially on the defense. The defense is very soft, very, very soft. And speaking of soft, all right, we go to with Dave Gettleman, okay? Now, one of the things he was talking about was fixing the offensive line. And even when we had our starting 5 in there, okay, the first game of the year when Shane Lemieux was actually in there, right? We had Andrew Thomas, we had Shane Lemieux for a brief stint. We had Nick Gates, Will Hernandez, and Nate Solder. When we had our starting 5 in there for that one game, that wasn't the full game, but for just one game, we still couldn't run the ball. Dave Gettleman, when he came in here, at the end of 2017, right, promised he was going to fix the offensive line, going to get the hog mollies in there. In that first game against Denver, we had 60 yards rushing. Daniel Jones had 27 of them. So that means the Giants running back, okay, in the first game of the season against Denver, their running backs they ran the ball, 15 times, I believe it was, for 28 yards. Or was like 15 for 33 yards or something like. It was like 2 yards a carry. I mean, I was like, are you serious? Are you? I mean, Denver's got a good defense, but I mean, you can't even average 2 yards a carry. Are you serious? I mean, when are we going to be able to run the ball? You know, you need, you know. So when the draft rolls around this year, okay, it's what we you know, hopefully, apparently the way it's looking like, we're going to have a high draft pick. Hopefully the Bears starts getting to be a good pick too as well. But we need to start fixing the offensive line or getting some studs on the defense or something like that, all right? Now, what we're projected as of right now, I think we're picking up the mock draft, like picking 5 or 6 right now. We got Kenyon Green, we're projected to take from the guy from Texas A&M. Now this year he's not grading out phenomenally, but in the games he's played so far from Texas A&M this year, Kenyon Green has played right tackle, right guard, left tackle. He's played every position but center. Very, very flexible. All right, and then we also have there's the center from Iowa, Tyler Linderbaum. He's good. He's graded out at over 92, I believe it is this year. He graded out at 91, I believe it was last year as a center. Very, very good. So we got to start doing. We start getting the shiny toys. Start building up the defensive line. Guys, go get some dogs in. Get the guys some attitude in there. Build up the offensive line. Some guys that are going to keep blocking to and through the whistle. You know, get that extra shove in there. After the whistle blows and you're blocking, and then you get that final shove in there. That's what we need. We need to go back to that. Because, punching guys in the nose for 60 minutes, I haven't seen that yet. And getting the hog mollies, and it's a big boys game and all that stuff, when the hell is that going to happen? And unfortunately, if we keep going like this, I don't know if David Gettleman's going to get himself another chance to help rebuild the offensive defensive line again, because he may not make it through the season, but we'll have to wait and see. But the Giants, Van Der Esch is right. Giants, soft, very, very soft. And Joe Judge was also talking about like the Giants. We're going to represent this area, the North Jersey, New York City. We're going to be blue collar, tough, and all that stuff. We're a bunch of pansies out there. I mean, you can talk all you want, but until it happens on the field, we're a bunch of pansies. We got to toughen the hell up. I mean, this is frickin' football, guys. Yeah. This is football. Put your big boy pants on and toughen the heck up. I mean, we're embarrassing. We are embarrassing, without question. And then we got a little lesson of the day here. Okay, apparently on November 7th, when the Las Vegas Raiders come to town. Hope I say this right. I think Rich Bisaccia is going to be the interim head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders, because John Gruden, I'm sure a bunch of guys heard that he resigned over the emails and all that stuff and everything. The homophobic and racial remarks he was making in his emails and everything. It's just awful. I mean, they're from 10 years ago, but there's no room for any of that out there. I mean, that's really sad. I heard already the Buccaneers took him down from their Ring of Honor because he's like an embarrassment, which he is. So you'll never hear John Gruden's name ever again, especially coaching. But lesson of the day: if you guys ain't got nothing nice to say, just keep your frickin' mouth shut. None of this homophobic stuff or racial stuff. There's no room for that anywhere. Keep your frickin' mouth shut. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!